Good evening, guys, and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I would have a haul for you, although I've been gone since 11 o'clock today, and I am finally done with everything now at almost 9:30 at night. I am exhausted, and I've only been home in my own house for maybe about like 2 hours worth of that time. So my goodness, guys, my mom ended up actually coming home today. She ended up coming home like this morning. She had to be there, I guess, at like 9 o'clock or something like that, because that's when the doctor was going to be there to talk to my dad or something like that. And so then they were going to release her in the morning, where she thought it was going to be in the afternoon, like 3 o'clock or something like that. So me and my dad had planned on getting up early, going to the grocery stores, and then coming back and, you know, then, or maybe, I think maybe 10 o'clock he planned on it or something like that. But he had to be there even earlier, like I think 8 or something like that. So anyways, yeah. We ended up not going to the grocery stores until he came back with my mom at about 11 o'clock or something like that. So at 11 o'clock, my mom ended up coming back. Like I said, she ended up having her surgery on Thursday, and she thought she wasn't going to come home till Sunday. I don't know, because it's changed multiple times. Not sure the last thing I ended up saying, like when she was supposed to be coming home, but yeah, so tomorrow, or yesterday, today, which is today, she ended up coming home. So like I said, me and my dad then ended up leaving about 11 o'clock for Matthew and like Jack to stay here then, you know, and my mom was kind of pretty much sleeping most of the time anyway while we were gone. So again, we ended up going to CVS to drop off prescriptions that she needed. They didn't end up having one of the kinds at CVS, so we ended up having to go to the CVS in one of the Targets. So we ended up then, well actually we started driving. We were on our way to Valley Produce, and my mom actually calls because CVS had called her and said that the medication they weren't going to be able to fill it. So we ended up then having to take the prescription back, go back to now a different CVS. That one was in Target, that was sort of not really on our way. So we go there, drop it off. Then we ended up going, then they were like, well, it's probably gonna be like a half hour. So we were like, okay, we'll come back here in like probably an hour or something like that. End up going to Valley Produce, Caputo's, and Aldi, since they were all right in the same area. Then we go back to Target, well, okay, we're then at Valley Produce, the first store, and we're actually in the, like, not deli, the, like, butcher section. We ended up getting, which I would share with you guys, like I said, the haul, but I barely got everything put in the fridge, because, like I said, we came home at, like, I don't know, one of the times, which I'll tell you guys why we had to come home. Dropped off and put some of this stuff away, then had to go back out again. Then me and Matthew had to go back out for the last leg of the journey today. So like I said, that's why I don't really have a whole haul for all of for everything we ended up doing for today from all of the stores. But Valley Produce, they had a really good deal on like seasoned like chicken breast skewers. They were $2.99 a pound, which normally chicken breasts that is like $1.99 a pound is actually a pretty good price. So for it to be like seasoned, skewered, already, you know, grill ready to go, $2.99 is a pretty good price. I didn't have to waste any of our own marinade or anything like that kind of stuff, you know, so I was like, hey, that's a pretty good deal. So we ended up grabbing some of that. While we're in that section talking, you know, ordering from the lady, all of a sudden these text messages start bombarding, getting bombarded with, and we told my mom, like, okay, send a text message to like Matthew and Jack, you know, if they can't hear you, or, you know, it's, you know, you need something immediately, and you don't, you know, like you can't get to one of them, so send a text message. So all of a sudden all these text messages start coming through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And the first text message I see is what I thought was from my mom, saying the bed is broken, and I was like, what on earth is she even talking about? And then she's like, I need you guys to go to one of our resale shops, actually sells like what's it called, bed frames, new, still in the box, and also like mattresses and like, what's it called, the thing that goes underneath the mattress, the box spring. So my mom was like sending all these text messages through and being like, oh, you know, you guys can go, Matthew, I need you to go stop there and go and pick it up then. And I hadn't realized that it was Matthew's bed that ended up breaking, and he needed a new bed. So like I said, I then end up calling him and I'm like, what does mom mean that the bed is broken? I was like, is she okay? Like, you know, and come to find out, like I said, it was Matthew that ended up sending my bed just broke, and I don't know, something ended up snapping off of it. These were really cheap bunk beds that we took apart that Matthew and Jack have had for a long time from Walmart. So it was inevitable they would wind up, something would happen to them anyway. We have like, my dad had a whole bunch of other like hardware pieces all attached to it to try and keep it together. It was like so shaky whenever you got on it, like the whole thing would just like go back and forth. So finally the bed ended up breaking. And we couldn't fix it anymore at this point. So, like I said, then we get all the text messages, we figure out what's going on. We're like, okay, well, once we're done at Aldi, when we go pick up my mom's prescription, then at Target, we'll come back home. Me and Jack will put away with the groceries that we have, and my dad and Matthew ended up going out to the resale shop, got a box spring and a you know, a bed frame sort of, because they already had the mattress, but the bed that they had didn't have a box spring. You can't even put a box spring on it, I don't think. So they end up getting that. They came back home. Me and Jack ended up putting all of the stuff away from the stores, you know, everything like that. Also too, guys, I got from Aldi a new bird bath, because we had that really nice glass bird bath that we got last year from Menards on clearance, like at the end of the year, and I loved it. However, my dad literally when we started sort of like, I guess, doing a little bit of spring cleaning a couple weeks ago, my dad ended up going to put the lawnmower away and knocked it over. It was like literally already on the ground, but it was somebody leaned it up against something, and so my dad just sort of like knocked it over. It fell over and crashed, and literally about 2 seconds before that I was like, I'm gonna get that out of there and go put it out in the yard, because it wasn't cold anymore. Like, I wasn't worried about it freezing and cracking because it was made out of glass. So like literally just a couple seconds before, my dad ended up knocking it over and breaking it. They have a very similar one that was actually on sale at Aldi for 20 bucks, which I thought was really good, because the one we got I think was $30. However, it was a little bit bigger. This one's actually smaller. So I'm sort of wondering, maybe I want to look to see if they have another one at Menards, but not at the price that it was at, like if they have it on clearance again or something like that, the bigger one, because I liked that one. And we can actually put the smaller one we just got at Aldi in the front yard or something like that. So that was my thought. Again, then, so we got that. I set that up in the backyard, and then me and Jack put away all the groceries. My mom had a whole bunch of stuff too from some of the stores that we needed to get, because like I was telling you guys too, because it was her neck surgery, like she's having trouble sometimes like swallowing a little bit. She needs like either soft or very mushy food, and like, or like liquid food or whatever. So anyways, we ended up getting a lot of that stuff, and I was like going to show you guys all of this in the haul from today, but because me and Jack had to put everything away, because me and my dad still had to go back out to Jewel and to Menards, because there's a whole bunch of stuff we also needed from there, and like other stuff too that like my mom needed. So like we had to make sure that we got it today, and I was assuming she was going to be back later in the afternoon, so we also wanted to make sure like that she had things that she could eat and drink and all that kind of stuff for when she was actually finally back home. And since she ended up coming home early, it was like, oh my goodness, we have to make sure we get all this stuff, you know. So anyways, ended up going to, you know, like I said, they ended up coming back then. They got the mattress thing. Matthew put it all together. They ended up rearranging the room upstairs while me and my dad were gone at Jewel and Menards. Ended up then coming back home. Then we ended up making frozen pizzas for dinner. I had 3 slices of that, because all I had earlier was just 1 cookie, and on the way back from Aldi ended up having a Starbucks Frappuccino. And I had 1 little butter cookie that we got from Caputo's last week. So that was all I ended up having all day today, up until we finally ate dinner at about 5 o'clock or something like that. I had a couple slices of pizza. We then ended up, me and Matthew ended up running out to Ace to get my dad a Father's Day gift, actually, and I also got a double suet bird feeder for the backyard, because I thought, hey, this is nice, I don't have to fill the suet feeder as often, and it was on sale too, which was normally like a half off actually, and also the gift we ended up getting my dad for Father's Day. So then, like I said, we ended up coming back home. We also had to run to the Dollar Tree to get like cards, wrapping paper, a couple other little like birthday, you know, decoration sort of things and stuff like that. So then we get back home and I asked Matthew, I was like, I ended up wrapping all of the presents that my mom sort of like ordered for my dad for his birthday. And so we ended up doing all of that, wrapped all the presents. I was like, Matthew, has my gift for, you know, that I ordered for my dad on Amazon ended up coming yet? Because Matthew actually ended up placing the order. So we ended up, he's like, yeah, they said they delivered it yesterday actually. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, we ended up getting a gift, a package for like a get well gift sort of from my aunt and uncle for my mom. And there was nothing on the side of the yard, or, you know, the side door or the front yard. So Matthew was like, they sent a picture and it's delivered to the side door yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what happened? And then I was thinking, I was like, it was super windy yesterday. I was like, I hope it didn't end up blowing away or, you know, ended up getting taken or something like that. So my dad and Matthew are outside for like 10 minutes looking for this package because it wasn't in like a box either. It was in like a bag sort of. So like 10 minutes outside, and finally they ended up finding it actually underneath Matthew's car. So luckily we actually still found it. We ended up, you know, not, you know, it didn't blow too far away and end up in somebody else's yard or whatever. But yeah, my dad normally comes in through the side door too, and realizing that he never came in through the side door though yesterday, he was like, I never checked, and when we went outside today, I didn't see anything. I was like, oh my goodness, something happened to it. No, we ended up finding it, luckily. On top of that too, guys, I got when we were at Menards, we got like the string lights, like the bistro lights, they were on sale. So we ended up picking up a pack of those on the box. I was loading up the box and it was super sharp, the like cardboard from the box. Ended up slicing my finger open in Menards and started like bleeding all over the place to like my pants. I've got little blood marks all over my jeans right now too. I was like, I am a mess. I need to go home. I've like not eaten hardly anything. I am exhausted. Like, oh my goodness, guys, today has been like the longest day ever. We have so much meat in the fridge too because I didn't know what we were gonna do as far as like grilling went too, and I couldn't remember what I wanted to do. So we get to Valley Produce, and like I said, I was looking at the ribs. So we have ribs, those chicken breasts, the seasoned chicken breast. We have brats and Italian sausage and hot dogs, all for tomorrow. Plus we already have frozen hamburgers, and we might have another package of pork chops, but I was like, we don't have to do the pork chops. We'll probably save those for a different time. Anyways, so I was like, well, we can do a lot of grilling, you know, tomorrow for my dad's birthday, and then also on Memorial Day. So I wasn't originally going to get the ribs. Then I was like, you know what, let's get the ribs because I can't remember what else I was going to get. You know what, I was like, I don't know what else we should eat, like for like one day and then the next day. And then two, because I'm not going to eat any of the meat. My mom can't eat any of it. I was like, I still don't want everybody else to like starve because we don't have enough food. Now I feel like we have way too much because we have a package of brats, a package of Italian sausage, which I can freeze one of those too. And then we also have ribs and the chicken breast. Like the seasoned skewered chicken breast, and we also have 4 packages of hot dogs, which we weren't going to use all this weekend. I just bought them because they were really good sale. So on top of all of that too, I am now terrified that we have way too much meat and not actually enough people to eat the meat over this weekend. So I was like, I guess we could do like the chicken breast tomorrow for dinner for my dad because he really likes that. I was like, maybe we can do like half of the thing of ribs like for lunch maybe, and then the other half for lunch tomorrow, and because I got a really big rack of ribs too. And then maybe we can do the thing of do like an Italian sausage or the bratwurst for dinner tomorrow or something, and then maybe do like the hot dogs too with the chicken breast, or maybe we'll do some of the chicken breast actually tomorrow. Like, I don't know. I have no clue what it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna be like, what do you guys want? That's what we're gonna do for lunch, dinner tomorrow, and then also for on Sunday too. And then on top of that too, Matthew has to run out and grab my dad a different gift too. And he also needs to go, and him and Jack have to go and run and get a cake, because I was like, I guess you guys can make one, because that totally, like, I wasn't even thinking of it. And on top of that too, didn't want to buy it while my dad was with me. So like I said, today has just been a mess. My brain has been all over the place. I am both physically exhausted because I haven't sat down for more than like 2 hours in total today, and my brain is also a mess and all over the place because I'm just like, I've got a headache too because I hardly had any water today. I've got I hardly ate until way later in the night. Like, oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, today has been a long day, but luckily, pretty much other than the couple things Matthew and Jack need to go run and do in the morning and decorate tonight, we're done. Like, it should be smooth sailing, like chillax for the rest of the weekend. And on top of that though, me and my dad will need to run to Menards most likely on Monday on Memorial Day. They are open, and grab a couple things. I'm hoping it's not going to be too busy because we need to get like potting soil and also pea gravel too to finish off a couple other things. Anyways, guys, I think that's it. So that is why I also didn't have a haul for you guys today, because everything's been all over the place. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll just show you guys like the fridge sort of afterwards or whatever, but it is just, it's been a long day. I will show you guys maybe some stuff tomorrow too, or just sort of show you guys what we end up doing over the weekend too. But all really good deals, really good sales and stuff like that. I don't even know how much we end up spending, but like I said, I showed you guys the fridge yesterday after me and Jack cleaned it out. There's no room in there at all anymore, so I guess that's kind of a good thing. But yeah, little like I said, just crazy day. So anyways, a lot of unsuspected things ended up coming up too, and last minute sort of like we had to get all over the place sort of stuff. So anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.